Hello everyone, Switch Double here. I decided to do a review about an anime movie by the name Your Name that came out 2016. Even though this movie came out 2016, but I recently saw it and I want to do a review about it. The movie is an anime romantic fantasy drama film and is in fact based on a book with the same name. I won't give into much details or like that for if anyone hasn't if anyone hasn't even seen the movie itself yet. But the movie is taking place is focused on two teenagers who is 17 by the name Taki Tachibana, the male character, Mitsuha Miyamitsu, which is the female character, but I would prefer calling them by the first name, but it's much easier. Taki and Mitsuha lives in different parts. Taki lives in Tokyo, and Mitsuha lives in a small country village far away from Tokyo. But for some reason, for at least they discovered that each time for a weeks at a time, they had experienced something which they first believed to be just vivid dreams. And over time, they started to realize those supposed dreams weren't just dreams. They were, in fact, real. They were actually switching bodies with each other for weeks at a time. And they tried to figure out exactly what causing this, but never real. But this was, in fact, not more just more than that even over time, though, they started to get to know each other more and more. But here is the thing, though. During in the movie itself is a one big major event that happened. The beginning of the movie takes place in the year 2013, and at the end after the year 2022, only about a year from now. The thing about this supposed major event happened in the fact that a comet by the name Tiamat passing by Earth every 1200 years. And this was the fact that this passing went around the year 2013 when something terrible happened. I won't get in much details because if anyone of my viewers and subscribers had even seen the movie yet, I just don't want to get much into spoilers details. But I can tell you about this. But first, when first Taki and Mitsuha were first experienced this so-called they first believed to be just vivid dreams. Even at first, they actually had no idea. Like for example, when Mitsuha were talking to some of her friends at school, they were actually mentioned something that she did the day before. But it turns out that day before was in fact when Taki were in her body and she has no memories exactly what happened. Even though. But here is one other thing about the movie. Because in the movie, spoilers alert, after that, Taki and Mitsuha somehow, after they meet in a sometime in a part of the movie, after that short brief moment, Taki starts to forget all about Mitsuha, even her name and the reason why he was there in that particular place at first place. And Mitsuha do the same. But I don't want to say much more because if you want to see the movie, you will have to watch it yourself. Because I don't want to spoil it much. But the movie itself was really surprised because even though I became aware of the movie back in 2016, but it took me at least 5 years to even to watch it. Even though this movie was really quite unexpected. Even though I did know some parts was going to happen, but this was really more than my expectations. Because I have seen so many different animes over the years, but this is probably one of the best so far in this, well, in this particular years. In fact, even though that the movie itself was had a very emotional impact, that I can actually somehow felt I felt very happy and sad sometimes when I did watch it. But they even had its comedy parts and moments in this movie. Even though that this movie itself was really surprising, it has its great moments in it. Seeing how both Taki and Mitsuha trying to make sure, at first trying to figure out why they having these such vivid dreams in the first place. And after learning that these dreams were in fact not even dreams at all, and were something that they actually experienced, but they didn't have any such memories about they been doing it. So, what I think about the movie itself after being seeing it? Well, I really was surprised how much this really had it such great moment. That seeing how much Taki and even Mitsuha try to make sure that so they will try to remember each time, but it happens. Even all about this. This is something really, well, it's something unexpected. Even though in the end of the movie, Taki now in 2022 has moved on his life, even though he had forgot about Mitsuha. But he has a feeling why something happened. And even though Mitsuha herself, she in fact had moved on and moved away from her hometown, now lives in Tokyo. And the only thing that in this they actually finally meet once and final time, or at least they finally meet at the end of the movie, which in is a very touchable moment. I don't even know exactly what else to be expected from this. I mean, the movie itself was really unexpected. Even I was a bit aware what was going to happen, but even I was aware of some of it. But the movie itself actually gave me more insight, more understanding of two different per people's um, lives. And in fact, I actually had this, and I this is as a thought when I was younger. How would it been if I would somehow end up in someone else's body for a day or so, like switch bodies? I know because this is probably something that many thinks or at least wondered. How would my life be if I switched body with someone else for a day or two, just to experience a different lives? For example, if you would switch body for your best friend, or if your girlfriend or wife for a day, that was something that I'm probably not the only one who has been thinking about this. If that somehow could happen. But having this mysteriously affect and connect the lives of two teenagers at the same age, of a boy who lives in a big city like Tokyo and a girl who lives on the countryside several miles away from there, and they even have never met in person until at the end of the movie. I cannot even imagine how they was like to be Taki and somehow figure out wakes up each morning and that he had end up in Mitsua's body and the vice versa. That but even like expecting all of this, I was really surprised that this movie was really amazing. It was really great. I was really To be honest, I was not even imagining like things like this going to happen. Even though the name of the movie, Your Name, is in fact the English translation. But still, even though that it's based on a novel or a book series about that, it is pretty much amazing. And would I recommend to anyone to watch this movie? Yes. If you are, if one of my fans or viewers are a big fan of anime, or basically of sort of any type of anime shows, like, well, anything actually, I would highly recommend to watch this movie. I mean, consider that if this movie is something you really like, has it both comedy, fantasy drama, and even romance. So, if I had to say though, would I recommend to anyone to just watch this movie? Yes, I do recommend to any one of my viewers and fans to just to watch this movie to see whether if you like it or not. You can leave in the comment section below about if you have seen the movie or at least what you thought about it. If you like it or it was a decent enough or something like that. I would actually would like to hear that. So this is my review about Your Name. And my ratings, as usual, is with stars. I would say, well, a 5-star rating. Time is a top 5 movie back from 2016. I really hope to see more some more good animated movies in the future, and perhaps even others. So, this is all I can say for them, and I do hope that everyone has a good time, and maybe to watch this movie if you're having a bad day, or maybe it's a rainy day, you just can't go outside and not go to spend some. And if you can't spend time with your friends, you can then maybe watch this movie if you are into anime. That is all I want to say. Thank you and have a good time. This is Switch Diablo over and out.